climb to a first-place tie with them, but it'll be their 16th win in their last 18 ball games. Incredible. The Red Sox are hurting, and we'll have a game with these same two teams next Saturday here on NBC. Most of you will see that. Others will see Montreal at Pittsburgh. Venerska, not having a good day, gets this ball fairly deep to Whittington at the 6. Young rookie brings it across the 20 and breaks it out near the 30-yard line. Well, the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 from there. Venerska missed the 29-yard field goal attempt. And also an extra point, and we have an injured man down on the field at the 29-yard line. And we're trying to see whether that is Shaw who made the tackle or not. It looks like 44. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll check it out, and we'll come back in a moment and let you know who it is. 5:27 to go. It is 13-7. The Chargers lead first half. From sunny, excited San Diego, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Raiders had no problem moving last time. It was Shaw hurt. That's Van Egan with the football being strung out, and there's Glenn Edwards to upend him. Edwards just came in to replace Pete Shaw. And on the right cornerback spot, Jerome Dove has been playing the last couple of series, so we have 2 of the 4 secondary men, not the men who started the football game.
That's right. Glenn Edwards did a fine job with Pittsburgh over the years. He's going to bring some experience to the secondary and some real sound heady play.
Oh, on your left corner is Mike Williams. Your right corner, Jerome Dove. Mike Fuller remains a strong safety, and Glenn Edwards, who made that hit, the free safety. 2nd down and 6 to go. And Stabler back. Stabler in the crowd going out here, and Upshaw could not come back for it. Jerome Dove was about 5 yards off of him, but that might have been Stabler just getting rid of the football, or it might have been lack of communication, and I'll ask my expert to my right which one it was.
Well, I think it was a case of Stabler trying to get rid of the football before being sacked. Bradshaw did not look like he was completely in his pattern. He wanted to do a turn-in or a hooking pattern in the middle, but Stabler had released the ball early to the outside. He was just getting rid of it, keep from being sacked.
3rd down and 6, and there are 3 wide receivers in there now for Oakland. Stabler, that may be underthrown, and it's incomplete. It is underthrown across the way, intended for Cliff Rank. Mike Williams defending. Flag down back at the 26-yard line.
San Diego feels that the strength.
Holding charged against the Raiders.
Jim, I was going to say that San Diego feels that their strength defensively lies in their defensive line, that they can put the kind of pressure on Stabler to make him hurry his throws, and they've certainly done that here in the first half.
Well, rather than take...
Holding, 70, offense, declined, 4th down.
That's Henry Lawrence trying to keep his man out, as Stabler already has been sacked twice. And rather than give the Raiders an extra 10 yards but another down, they'll say, no, sir, it's 4th down and 6 to go. Let Ray Guy kick it to us. We want the football. Stabler and the Raiders are so explosive they could make up that time. The Yankees have beat Boston 7-4. It is all tied. Each team has won the same amount and lost the same amount. And on July 19th, the Yankees are 14 games down. Can you believe that? Mike Fuller back to the 16-yard line. Pretty good punt return. Back to the 20 and picks up some extra yardage across the 25 to the 27-yard line, where the Chargers have the football again. San Diego came into the game a touchdown favorite. That was a 50-yard punt, and there's a surprising score, 13-7, the Chargers. Jim Simpson with Paul Warfield. That's what we were telling you about as a result of the sweep in Boston, Fenway Park. Well, the Red Sox and Yankees, 86 and 56, and you'll see Boston and New York, most of you, at 2 o'clock Eastern Time next Saturday here on NBC. First down, Woods and Matthews are set back. Chargers have the football. Don Woods has it now, and Woods gets away from one man and steps over a couple more and picks up about 4 yards total after it looked as though he'd be hit down. Lester Hayes and Monty Johnson made the tackle. Stabler is 7 of 11 for 139 yards and a touchdown. He's been intercepted once and sacked twice. Dan Fouts is 7 of 10 for 101 yards and a touchdown, and has not been sacked and has not been intercepted. Coming up at halftime, highlights of many of the games that took place some time ago, and there were some wild ball games, including an overtime game in Cleveland, plus all scores of other games going on right now on NFL 78. Ryan Gumble, Mike Adamley from New York. Second down, 6 to go. And look out, Woods hardly gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's Phil Villapiano who made the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
That play didn't fool Phil Villapiano as he blitzed from his linebacker position and caught Lydell Mitchell in the backfield, and now that's put San Diego in a definite passing situation. I think we'll see the Oakland 5th defensive back come in.
Well, they're very excited about San Diego, meaning the team in the city. More tourists this year than any other year, and the manager of a radio's television station went on the air and said, let's enlarge the stadium city. Let us become big enough to get the Super Bowl. We have such an outstanding place down here. They are right. Don Woods is not going to get the first down. They're going to have to kick it away. He is stacked up and stacked up hard. Villapiano in there, as you can see. Lonnie Johnson getting up. And Otis Sistrunk. That's our score.
Fans don't particularly like that play or like that call by Dan Fouts, but it was a reasonable one. They're in their own territory in Oakland with 5 defensive backs. He didn't want to risk an interception on this part of the field.
Jeff West has had a good day today. Punts of 45 and 37 yards. Excellent hang time. And fair catch is called. And Neil Colsey is deep. High. Colsey's going to let it hit. That is taking a San Diego bounce down near the 15-yard line, and they'll down it at the 16. Bounced at about the 25 and went off skidding to the right to the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Next week, NFL football, 12:30 Eastern time on NFL 78. We'll have a special report on the San Diego Chargers. And then these games will follow. And Paul, your Cleveland Browns are undefeated.
It looked pretty good. They started fast last year. I guess the fans in Cleveland are hoping that they can keep it going.
Oakland will be on out of Green Bay, and of course San Diego goes to Denver. There goes Mr. Van Egan. Great run by Van Egan. Got to the line of scrimmage, saw an open hole, and rambled about 34 yards. Mark Van Egan, who last year averaged 91 yards.
This play worked because of good blocking and also some good running by Van Egan as he read his blocks perfectly. Only problem is he's not a great speedster out in a broken field.
Ball at midfield. 2 minutes to go, first half. Who would have thought it? It's been an excellent, exciting game. NFL football every week right on through the Super Bowl here on NBC. Well, 2 minutes to go. Paul Warfield, this is one of those chances. I don't know if it'll work out or not, but when you see a man like Ken Stabler with receivers like he has at midfield and 2 minutes to go on the clock, there's something to watch.
Certainly is. He's a veteran quarterback, and like most veteran quarterbacks, he knows exactly how to use the clock and trying to get a touchdown in at this point of the game. I think that he'll pick his wide receivers going to the outside of the field and throw the ball towards the sidelines to make maximum use of the clock, but you know, you can't never rule out that he might send Casper down the middle for it all.
Dave Casper's already caught 4 passes, including 1 for a touchdown. Stabler going deep for Bradshaw down the sidelines, and he does not have the football. Right with him was Mike Williams.
Well, Bradshaw made an excellent move running this deep pattern. Seemed like he had a little bit of trouble locating the ball. Stabler's looking for him on the deep outside fly pattern. Just as he breaks outside, sort of hard to tell right there, but it looked like the ball was right in his hands. Perhaps the San Diego defender got his hand on it.
It looked to me like he dropped the ball as they did 6 times on Stabler last week. That ball was right on the money. Here comes Biletnikoff and Branch both to the left on second down. That play only took 6 seconds. Stabler going back again, and he's going to try it again. Casper's out there, and he overthrows him. Casper had outrun the secondary. He had 2 men on him, and the tight end outran the secondary.
Well, we said that he might go for it all for Casper going down the middle, and that's exactly what Stabler did. He was under a little bit of duress on this particular play as number 68, Leroy Jones, put the pressure on him. Threw the ball to over the right shoulder of Casper, who was breaking, looking over his left shoulder. He just wasn't able to come up with the catch.
Watching Stabler go down like that, I realized that in the first quarter here last year, he went down with a twisted knee under that counter rush and could not finish. 3rd down and 10. Stabler's been going for it all every time. Under a rush, goes it out here, and Branch had not made his turn. And Stabler, I believe that time, Paul, had to throw because he's under tremendous pressure.
Well, the San Diego game plan is working to perfection. They felt coming into this ball game that they would have to put a maximum rush on Stabler. They couldn't give him an opportunity to go back there, sit back there, and take a lot of time throwing to his pass receivers. And so far, they've harassed him, and he hasn't been throwing effectively.
Ray Guy's been averaging 41.6 yards on 4 kicks. Last year, averaged 43.3. A reminder that Stabler had something going, but the ball was dropped, and the Raiders are still down by 6, and the Charger fans are thrilled with it. Fuller's going to take this at the 10-yard line, and deep trouble right there. Maintains his balance and gets across the 20. He was hit by Joe Stewart, the rookie out of Missouri, who has a lot of speed, and Stewart was down under the play, hit Fuller about to the knees, he spun away, and got out to the 21-yard line. A 40-yard kick.
Catching a punt inside the 10-yard line is something that will make a coach like Tommy Prothero get even more gray hairs on his head.
On the sides of his head, with apologies to you, Tom. 1st down and 10. 13-7 San Diego over Oakland. 1:35 to go, first half. Fouts probably will play conservatively here. Hands to his fullback, Matthews, and Matthews picks up 6 or 7 yards. But the Chargers cannot be convicted or criticized for playing conservatively well within their own 30-yard line with a lead and only 1:20 to go.
That's right. I wouldn't want the Oakland Raiders to have the football. The Chargers, we were talking a moment ago about the Chargers' defensive game plan. Their offensive game plan has worked to perfection as they have gotten at least 4 to 5 yards on 1st down. They've stayed out of that must-run or must-pass situation pretty much throughout the first half.
2nd down, 7 to go. Matthews again, and Matthews has the 1st down. 54 seconds to go. Bo Matthews, John Jefferson, of whom we spoke in the NFL 78 portion of our show, caught 1 pass, has gone out with a neck injury and hasn't been back, and Johnny Rodgers has been getting his shot. But these are the closing moments of the first half, and Fouts is not about to put it up for grabs. Matthews has now carried the ball 8 times for 34 yards. Matthews a fine blocking back. Fouts 7 for 10. Jim Garner, and no, he is not a San Diego fan. You will find him wherever the Oakland Raiders are playing. Maybe I should call him Jim Rochford.
He's been a big fan of the Raiders for years. I saw him on the sidelines when Oakland knocked out Miami in the playoffs in 1974.
And then the Raiders came right back, marching 77 yards. Casper catching the touchdown pass to make it 7-7. And then Hank Bauer scored from 7 yards out. A little delay by Matthews. Every little second counts. 46 seconds to go. Clock is continuing to run. There is no timeout here. And they can get one more play off, and Artie Owens comes in with that play, and it might be number 41 again, Bo Matthews, or else just Fouts falling down. Nearing the end of the half, the Chargers, who are a touchdown underdog, find themselves up by 6 points. The extra point missed after the second score. Second man is Lionel Mitchell, and Mitchell gets across the 35 to the 37. The fans here find themselves out in front by the score of 13-7, but they want Fouts to put the ball up in the air in the last 5 seconds. And they're going to walk off saying, we're happy with the lead, and the Raiders are going to walk off saying, we're going to come back and make things different in the second half. First half is all over. Here in San Diego, sellout crowd, 13-7, the Chargers over the Raiders. There is the sold-out San Diego Stadium. More than 54,000 people are here. The Chargers on the near sideline, leading 13-7. Their touchdowns, a 19.5-yard deflected pass caught by Pat Kern, and Hank Bauer, the only time he carried the ball for Tommy Prothero, scored from a yard out. And that's the 13 points. Whereas for the Oakland Raiders, I got a team here in California somewhere, and John Madden Casper just had an outstanding first half, and his catch to set up the touchdown, which he caught from 7 yards in, as he extended his way and put his hands out on the dead run and beat 2 defenders, was a thing of beauty. Casper was just absolutely perfection in the first half. Kenny Stabler deserved better. He had dropped passes again. The score's 13-7. The statistics, we'll let Paul Warfield handle that.
Well, there's a little edge for the Chargers here in first downs and yards rushing. Total yards is 208 for San Diego, 170 for Oakland. Of course, Oakland's yardage could be a little bit better, as Jim mentioned, if some of the pass receivers would have made some catches from time to time.
Look at that time of possession there, Paul.
Well, that's a big difference. San Diego has done the thing that they wanted to do offensively, and that's control the football. The game plan has been one in which they want to at least gain 3, 4, 5 yards on first down and not necessarily come up in the passing situations, and they've done exactly that.
Artie Owens and Mike Fuller going back as Ray Guy will kick off. Owens is 85, Fuller 42, and there's Ray Guy, who will kick off. Rolf Wernerski missed a 29-yard field goal and missed an extra point. And those 2 misses could be costly for the Chargers before the day is over. But the Raiders are going to have to turn some things around here, because the Chargers have been more than holding their own. They have dominated the play. Artie Owens at the 6-yard line goes back to the 5, out to the 20, and is tripped up, runs into his own man, and goes down at the 25-yard line. And Dan Fouts and company come out, and again John Jefferson, about whom we spoke, out with a neck injury, had that outstanding debut against Seattle a week ago with 2 touchdown passes of 29 and 7 yards, is not coming out. Johnny Rodgers, the Heisman Trophy winner and a #1 pick years ago, who opted for Canada but came back last year, is in there, number 20. Woods 33, Matthews 41. Your running backs, Rodgers 20 to the right, Joyner 18 to the left. Fine, the tight end is on the right side. Bo Matthews gets 5 yards. Out to the 30-yard line. It'll be second down and a long 5 to go. Artie Owens comes in as they're shuttling the wide receivers with plays. Billy Shields and Russ Washington the tackles, Doug Wilkerson and Ed White the guards, and Ralph Paredes at center. Defensively, Matuzak, McCoy, Sistrom, Hendricks, Johnson, Hall, Villapiano, Hayes, Phillips, Tatum, and Brown. And now we see Monty Jackson is over on the right corner. Fouts to Matthews coming out of the backfield. Bo Matthews has the first down across the 35-yard line. Monty Jackson, picked up from the Rams, has taken over right cornerback.
Well, Dan Fouts made an excellent decision here. He wanted to go downfield to the wide receiver, but things were jammed up down there, so he threw the ball right there to number 41, Bo Matthews. He made a nice gain out of it. Chargers have a first down.
All at the 38-yard line. Rodgers to the right, Joyner left. Chargers have been able to move the football today. Make no mistake about that. Here's Matthews again out of the backfield, and he gets from a 38 to the 41. A gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7 to go from there. Charles Phillips, a strong side safety, along with the Stork. Ed Hendricks made the stop. Matthews has carried 15 times for 54 yards. And there is Dan Fouts. His dad used to do the San Francisco 49er games up in the Bay Area. I think you've heard that little bit of trivia before, but sports announcers are just as proud as any other father of what their son or daughter can do. Woods, who had an outstanding first half, gets a good block, cuts back inside. Flag goes down, and the direction of Bo Matthews, who was working over there on Ted Hendrick.
A 4-yard gain. Penalty flag.
And Bo Matthews, number 41, may be called for holding. I think you know that all penalties this year are 5 or 10 yards, with the exception of unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness or personal foul. They go to the 15. Everything else is 5 and 10 yards. Jerry Markbright, our referee. Umpire Gordon Wells. Ray Doday, our head linesman. Line judge Bill Reynolds. Back judge Tom Kelleher. Willie Spencer, the side judge. Ed Merrifield, the field judge. Here's Markbright.
Holding 41.
It was Matthews.
Second down.
Second down and about 17 to go. Chargers have reeled off 14 first downs. Joyner left. Rodgers right. Lydell Mitchell is in there along with Don Woods. Woods can play the fullback spot. Fouts has been getting excellent protection. Now he's going to run. And look out, because he's going to have that linebacker, Willie Hall, knock him down after he crossed the 35-yard line to the 37. Picked up about 5. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
The Raiders had good coverage in the secondary. Fouts looked completely around the field. He just couldn't find a receiver open. Here's Villapiano coming in on the blitz. He's the guy who sort of unsettles Fouts there and moves him out of the pocket. And he starts to scramble on the run. Not the greatest scrambler in the world, but he certainly knows when to go down.
Especially when you're looking at Willie Hall taking dead aim on you. 3rd down and 10 to go. Fouts has the time and has the man Bob Klein, but I don't think he's going to get the first down. He is dragged down at the 46-yard line, just shy. Neil Colsey and Monty Jackson dragged him down, and it'll be 4th down and short, and Jeff West is coming on.
Well, I've got to be critical of Bob Klein in that situation. A veteran pass receiver, he should have known what the yardage he needed for the first down. It is imperative in a situation like that not to be a yard or 2 short, but to get the first down.
Line did not go down the full 10 yards, but turned in at the 46-yard line. Jeff West has had a fine day punting the ball, averaging 44.4. That is Colsey you saw deep. Look out. He got it away. Away from Colsey, and this will bound around inside the 20, and again get a nice Charger roll down to the 15-yard line. Again, the Raiders are going to be starting from in a hole. They're down by 6. But a lot of time to go. 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. The team of pride and poise, the Raiders of Oakland, will try to get back in the ball game. Not that they are out of the ball game, but they're trailing by 6 points, and they're 85 yards away from a score. Van Egan, who had a good first half, picks up about 5 yards out near the 20-yard line, where Bob Horn and Gary Big Hands Johnson and Louis Kelcher all combined on the stop. Stabler 7 of 14 for 139 yards. Been intercepted once, thrown a touchdown pass, has been sacked twice. Outstanding leader who has seen his share of great days in the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and of course the Super Bowl.
No reason for the Raiders to push the panic button. They've got a lot of time left, and they're only 6 points down.
2nd down along 5. Stabler back, throws, has his man. Guess who? Dave Casper. Casper fights for the first down across the 25-yard line. 4 charges around him, and Casper just fought for the first down. Mike Fuller the first to hit him, and Hal Stringer came over to help out. And a flag is down, and it's going to be if it is a personal foul, this will be one of your 15-yard penalties that we were talking about. Not too many of them left in the National Football League. They're marching off the 15, and now all of a sudden the Raiders have excellent field position.
Personal foul, number 45.
That's Hal
defense,
Stringer.
Unnecessary roughness. First down.
There's Stringer.
Well, they've got Hal Stringer here, and he's accused of a little extracurricular activities, and he's caught there, and it's going to cost them 15 yards. That hurts.
Spearing with the helmet, which is something they try to ask the players not to do. They can be very dangerous. Van Egan again bursts into the secondary. First down. Across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. That's the 2nd time that Mark Van Egan has had a big burst today. Glenn Edwards made the stop. Edwards came in when Pete Shaw, who had an ankle problem to begin with, went out. Van Egan has been piling up the yardage today. 44 yards on 8 carries. That's better than 5 yards per. Bradshaw right, Branch left, and here come the Raiders. Again, Van Egan, this time for a yard or 2, and that's about all. Gary Big Hands Johnson. Gary Johnson came to the Chargers out of Grambling as a #1 draft choice. And the funny thing is, Louis Kelcher, who plays alongside of him, has bigger hands than Big Hands. In the 1975 draft, Gary Johnson and Mike Williams were drafted on the 1st round. Louis Kelcher and Fred Dean on the 2nd round. There's your front 3 plus a cornerback. And Mike Fuller on the 3rd round. There's your strong side safety. So they got 5 men in the first 3 rounds of the '75 draft who are playing on defense today. as starters. Second down, 9 to go. Look out, Stabler. Flag goes down. Stabler puts the ball up. It is intercepted by Glenn Edwards. Edwards across the 40, the 45, and run out of bounds at the 48. Remember, a flag was down. Could be holding in the backfield. We'll wait and see. But the teams are breaking on the field. Glenn Edwards, over from the Steelers, makes the interception, the second interception of the day, and it is going to be holding.
Number 50, offense, decline, first down.
Dave Dalby called for holding, but Stabler's intercepted, and that is the third turnover. Remember, there's a fumble by Van Egan back in the first quarter. That is the third turnover, not the second.
Here's Kenny throwing sort of off balance and side-arming it. And that's one I'm sure that he wished that he could have back, because Glenn Edwards was sitting right back there in the middle, read the play perfectly, stepped in front of the receiver, intercepted it.
47-yard line. Chargers have the football and the lead with 8:55 to go, third quarter. Fouts still with the football, being harassed, and down he goes. Oh, fine individual play by Willie Hall, the linebacker. That's the first time that Fouts has been sacked today. Stabler's been sacked twice, but this time they sent Willie Hall. And many times this year, Paul Warfield, they're really playing a 4-3 as they will set a linebacker in as a down lineman.
Second down.
Well, that's the beauty of the 3-4 defense. You can send one of the extra linebackers, and that time Willie Hall was coming, and he simply was not fooled by that play-action fake. It was a big play, and it's going to make the Chargers operate at least second down and 15.
Rydell Mitchell comes in. On Woods is out. And Fouts is back to throw. Gets it out for Klein. Almost picked off. Oh, Lester Hayes read it perfectly. Stepped in front. Couldn't hang on to the football. Well, there's been a drop by Morris Bradshaw on offensive a long pass. And there was a ball batted high in the air by Mike Davis and went for a touchdown. The Raiders today have had trouble with their hands.
Certainly have. Dan Fouts has only made 2 poor decisions throwing the football today. That was one of them right there, and he got away with it. Lester Hayes could have made that reception for the Raiders. No one was in front of him.
Third and long, and Joyner and Rogers both go left. Fouts 7 of 11. Fouts has time, delivers it, and overthrows everybody, and it's a good thing he did, because Charlie Joyner was surrounded by the black and silver.
Raider defense seems like it's picked up the pace now. They're putting a little more pressure on Fouts, and they're doing a good job in the secondary of covering.
Oh, Jeff West will come in to kick it away to Neil Colsey again. The last 2 times that West has kicked the ball away, and he's been averaging 44.5 yards. He has kicked the ball that has hit about the 25 or 20 and then rolled inside the 20. Got a good day that way. Colsey plays one side or the other. And West has been kicking away from Colsey. This time he's kicking toward Colsey. But Neal, who dropped the ball in Denver, is not going to field this one, and this one gets a Raider bounce out to the 26-yard line. Oakland has the football. We've got 8:05 to go, third quarter. It's 13-7. The Chargers lead the Raiders. Baseball today. The Cardinals knocked off